We are live. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to PeakFlow Academy Power Hour number 6, where we're
Yes,
going to be talking
sir.
about SOPs, operations, hiring, the boring stuff. But like, if you're watching this, it's probably because you're excited. Like, this is where things become fun. You could finally live the laptop lifestyle if you even want to. I don't like the laptop lifestyle because like it's kind of hard to work on your laptop. You need double screens, triple screens, quadruple screens so you can monitor everything at once. But how are you doing over there, Marcus? Like, give everyone an introduction.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our Power Hour. Today, we have a very special day. We're going to answer your questions, and also we have the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. Actually, that's what we were talking about that right before this. I want to know who you guys are thinking of is going to be winning. Okay, you have to really consider. You have an OG that probably trained very hard versus Jake Paul. So I'd love to know in the comments down below. Let me know any questions you guys have for high ticket e-commerce. My name is Marcus, and I'm sure my presentation slides will come up. So we'll wait for that.
Don't forget wins. You got
Shout
some
out Ty.
wins. He didn't see the Shopify cha-ching, unfortunately, but his first sale is still pretty solid.
These are just, by the way, some student results from our program. This week, Ty got his sale from honestly being unaware. So that's that.
Uh-huh.
We have Ray spent $1.79, got 9,000. So that's the screenshot of his ads on his mobile view. That's his Shopify dashboard. And obviously, you're not going to know his store, but we have given you guys some of our stores in the past where you guys have to go into our YouTube channels and just dig those out. But we keep going. We have Jordan. I feel like I see Jordan every week. Jordan got
That's
something
good.
new every time.
It's good.
I actually didn't even know that he closed a $16,000 sale. What was that
It was
experience like with Jordan?
it was just this morning, on like 2 hours ago.
Oh, that's why I was like, oh, Trevor, like what happened?
Yeah, just putting in the work, following the formula, the blueprint, and asking questions. That's it. And yeah, not a bad month. I don't think he even has been running ads for a month. Maybe he has, but a nice 42,000 for the first 30 days.
I remember just setting up his CRM like a few weeks ago. So that's interesting. He's already.
Yeah, making good progress. I know he was having issues with receiving payment, so that's probably why he like slowed down the ads here.
Oh,
But as soon as he fired the ads back up after resolving the issue, seems like he's making the orders again.
that's great. So, guys, if you guys watch this every single week, man, it's the same words every time. I'm so sorry. But if you guys didn't notice, we changed the word on slide 2 when we kept misspelling questions.
It was because I was duplicating the slides over
No,
there.
we were misspelling answering, the word
Yeah,
answering.
yeah.
But now we fixed it. And hopefully by next week, I'll have an A/B test on my own profile. If you guys don't know what A/B test is, it's just a marketing term. It's a way to see what's working and what's not. Okay. And starting off with that, I actually learned A/B testing in college. A/B testing was one of the few concepts that I actually grasped during my college days. There, okay, by the way, guys, for anyone that is in college right now, I don't know if you guys can relate. When you go to business school, especially when you're setting yourself up for like the big corps and stuff, everyone gears yourself towards like accounting or the big four. Trevor, do you know what the big four is? You ever heard of it? It's okay. It's like an
No,
accounting thing. The big four is
accounting.
like the big firms that are like like Goldman Sachs or EY. They're like the big corporations. And so, your job when you're inside the school system, when you're inside college is to precisely become an employee. Kind of like that that was just a vibe. And I felt like that was what college was. It was like I'm going in and I'm just doing something to become something for someone else. I wasn't being even my true authentic self. And I realized that, okay, during like my freshman sophomore year when I was learning between marketing and accounting. That's why this is so important. It's because when I was in school, everyone was trying to set you up to be another person in the system, another person in the big course, another person in EY. I went with my gut. I didn't even know like if marketing was going to be it. I just had an interest with, psychology. I had an interest with how do I get someone to like buy from me, to be quite honest. So I went with my heart. And I'm speaking about this because a lot of you guys right now know what you're supposed to do inherently. Inside you, your heart speaks and but you're not doing it because you're afraid, like you're afraid to take a risk. And that's perfectly normal. It's a lot of risk when it comes to starting a business, when it comes to going into the online space. There's tons of scammers, okay? But I want to let you know, me and Trevor, we at PeakFlow, it's not even just us, it's the entire team. We couldn't be here without everybody on our team. Is that, we are actually trying to make a difference in this world, okay? We actually, when you guys come in, we're going to do our best to give you the proper resources, the tools, the guidance, and we're going to try to be there for you in every way possible, from dropshipping to mindset to building your business acumen. And I'm saying that is because if you're in college right now, just know you're not going to have the same acumen as someone that's actually going out and doing what they're supposed to do every day. The people that you're seeing every single week come in, you're seeing these results. It seems so easy. It's like, oh, these guys are they scamming? What's going on? You don't even fathom the behind the scenes stress that goes on, bro. Like, you don't really understand until you're actually there. And I say this because, the only way through is through. And I want you guys to really watch what we're about to show you, because the operations and how we built up this entire empire, the way we look at it is what you're not going to get in school. Okay. I'm someone that came from school, literally inside. I had my undergrad in business administration. I had my master's. I'm telling you, the stuff that you're learning now, that we're about to show you, you're not going to find school. School is 10 years behind. Okay. So that's my background. And Trevor actually was on the other side. He's more of the traditional entrepreneur. He was just like, well, this shit doesn't make sense. Let me just drop out. So Trevor, I'm past. Like, how about you, bro? Like, how did you come about e-commerce?
Yeah, good question. So I found out about e-commerce just from a YouTube ad.
Oh,
Honestly,
interesting.
like very, very, I would say it's been like 9 years since then. How do I know exactly it was 9 years? I don't, but just gut feeling. Just I think I was like around 12 at the time. So I just saw like a guy on like near his infinity pool with his Shopify dashboard on his phone. It's like, hey, join my dropshipping course. And then I clicked on the ad. I saw, I don't remember who, so I came and like called him out or anything. But like, yeah, I went through the training. It's like, hey, this is interesting. And then I began researching like content on YouTube on how to start dropshipping. But obviously, you can't form a company under 18, so I had to wait and actually set it up many years later. But along the way, I started a ton of other businesses. I was on like forums, like on how to make money, and I was just like spending hours and hours a day, just like, how can I make money? Can I resell ebooks? Can I make ebooks? Can I share this with this community? All these like tactics. I had a Twitter account. My current Twitter account, actually, it was a Fortnite account. Like, I don't think you even know this. It was a Fortnite account, and when Fortnite was popular, I was reselling accounts with skins, and I think I made a couple $100
Oh my
through the
god.
account. So I was just hustling any way that opportunity presents itself. I'm taking advantage of it. So that's how I like got started with entrepreneurship. Just any any opportunity. It doesn't matter what risks. I didn't have anything to lose. I'm taking the risk. So along the way, I tried many other business models, as you can see on the screen. Uh, but yeah, that's how I would answer the questions. How I got into e-commerce was just from one thing to another to another to another, and now here we are doing high tech e-com.
Here we are.
Hey, so
Hey.
with that being said, it's hiring operations time.
Let's see if there's any questions first. Let's go.
I feel like I recognize this person.
Been struggling over here, and sometimes it feels like we just need to quit. Thanks for the motivation. Oh, you're welcome. I don't know what I don't know when I was trying to be motivational though. I was just telling my
Just maybe
story.
just relatability.
Listen. One thing I want to point out though, Sam, is that feeling's never gonna go away. Okay, I just want to let you know. Anybody that's watching this replays, like you're always gonna have that feeling of, am I doing enough? Can more things be done? Will things all fall apart? I don't think that feeling ever goes away. I think you just get used to it. You're able to continue doing it despite feeling that, because you have to, objectively do what's necessary to get you to the next step. Okay, so part of that process, I was actually speaking about this with another client, Jordan, this morning. When you guys are running a business, you have to make sure every aspect is taken care of. Okay, you have product uploading, calling suppliers, website building, ads, all of that need to be just done, like just taken care of in every branch. So eventually, at one point, first you learn it, and then you have to start scaling or just making sure things are done even when you're not there. And that's the hard part. And that's why this video is so important, because SOPs, structure, if I'm being honest, Trevor has a huge advantage for me, like over me. Like his systems and operations are a lot more clear, organized. And you need to understand how clean and organized it should look so that you could understand how it should be. And then once you understand it, you have to make sure you execute. Okay, so the first most important thing is hiring team members. I'll start off, Trevor, and I'm gonna hand it over to you for the SOP part. When it comes to hiring, when it comes to recruitment, finding the right fit for anyone that is looking into getting a remote assistant, yes, you can go and get a $4 an hour assistant. You could, go to the Philippines, you get, have all that cool, but it's not about that. You have to find someone that you could see has heart and has potential. That's what I look for first. And then more of the monetary comes second. When I'm going through, obviously, monetary does take into account, but first and foremost, when you're recruiting, see if they're actually a good fit for the culture. Okay, that's one thing you really have to consider. You're gonna notice, especially if you hire for like a few months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, they're working with you. It might start off really well. They might be getting the job done. But what's gonna have them continue growing with you, continue building with you, continue, being your side by side, is like, where is this business going? Where are you going? Are you going to get me to where I want to be? You have to think of those stuff like that. So you want to first and foremost make sure it's a good fit. When you're in the beginning stages, it doesn't matter as much, I guess. But it's going to be one of those things you're going to have to come across in the future anyway. If you don't want to hire 5 bad VAs and then freaking lose that money and the time just to I should actually see if they're an actual good fit for the culture. So hiring team members, I always say assess their personality. Ask them like, what's one of your biggest challenges and how you overcame it? That's a great way to see and measure their problem solving. It's a great way to see how they tackle on problems, their mindset, and see if there's actual potential. Because when you're hiring team members, you're investing into them. You're thinking of like the monetary side. I'm at the point I'm thinking of energy side. Like I only have so much energy in a day. Am I really going to take my time to like train and prepare and give you all the resources and hone you. It's kind of like you have to see potential in them. Everyone on my team like has massive potential, with or without me, and that's the amazing part. It's like when you have superstars and everyone lines up and then everyone's doing their special. It's like, bro, Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Team members, your team, crucial, bro. Okay, don't let this slip up. Remember the right questions to ask. Look at their character. And then once you find the right people, they have to know what to do, which is what standard of procedures is. Okay, standard of procedures is the instructions and what they should be doing. And that's where Trevor's specialty, we don't call it standard of procedures, we call it specialty of procedures by Trevor. I'm fascinated to you, bro.
Yeah, so good job explaining like hiring team members. I think it's very important to understand the psychological part of hiring team members, but I want to also cover the logical side of hiring team members, like when should you hire team members and how. So obviously you need to understand. I would say it's more important to hire logically. I mean, psychologically. So if the person is good, they're gonna outweigh any stats that you see on paper. But on paper, what you want to see is just like, do the numbers make sense with the business? Like if you're paying $4 an hour, calculate how much is that per day, calculate how much that is per month, and just see what percentage of the employee cost is going into your monthly profit. If it's costing $1,000 and you're making $5,000 a month, well, 20% of the expenses is going, or the profit is going to employees. And if you're fine with that, just monitor that and understand that if you want to have a healthy P&L, then you have to understand like when should you hire based on your profits. And then also like if it's your first time hiring, it's going to be daunting. I personally, my hiring and firing style is more brutal than Marcus's. Like if I am about to fire someone, I will literally just say, "You're gone." But like Marcus's firing style is like you gotta talk to them, kind of see like where they're at, and you can kind of get emotional sometimes. I'm not emotional. I just literally, if I don't like them, they're not a good fit for the company, I snap my finger, they're gone. It's a different style, whatever works for you. But like I feel like a good blend of both is
Yo, we are so raw with you guys. I just want to say, like, this is literal behind the scenes, our personalities, yo.
Yeah. And then in terms of SOPs, if you don't know what SOPs are, they stand for Standard Operating Procedures. And basically, if you ever work at a company, and this is from a person that never worked at a company before or any public company, they'll give you like some sort of document where you just follow, like it will say like your role. If you're the software engineer, this is your role. You're supposed to check in at this time. You're supposed to do these tasks. You're supposed to do your report. It's just like a document. So in terms of how to build it, you could do Google Docs. You could do Notion. I built my first SOPs on Notion, and then honestly, they took like over a year to build because I had no direction, I had nobody to like learn from at the time. So it took me a long time to build my SOPs. But now it's really just reverse engineering what you do on a day to day and putting it down on paper so someone can clone you. Now, besides cloning you, it's also important that the business owner is not the person that's the smartest in the company. That's very important because you want your employees or your team members to actually step in and tell you, hey, like you're screwing up right here. You should do this. Or you're screwing up right here. Maybe you should do this. You want that feedback. If you're just a one-person company with 5 VAs that just does whatever you tell them, then you're just gonna have no direction. You're not gonna be able to improve, and it's really not what you want to be looking for. So I'll pass it to Marcus in terms of structuring the team. So hiring the team members, you can hire from a lot of sources. I recommend if you're hiring from the Philippines, online jobs.ph, you could do Upwork, you do Manila, Craigslist. I tried all three. I would recommend online jobs for the highest quality. In terms of like who to hire, I honestly hire people with an IQ level over 125. From my experience, usually they just understand things a little bit quicker and don't have to explain things 5 times. But yeah, go on, Marcus. How do you structure the team after you hire them?
That's a great question. You want to look at what Do you want to answer Sam's question first?
Sure. So Sam
I've been.
said, I've been wondering about SOPs. We are nowhere near the point of hiring, but there are so many steps that
Uh,
need to be done and with attention to detail, and it's also hard to trust someone to do things right. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way when I first started. That's very normal. In terms of like steps, would just recommend, at least for my SOPs, I just make a recording of myself doing the task. For example, if you're hiring someone to do your product uploads, well, the best way is just show them over the shoulder
yeah.
how to do the product upload. Step one, take the supplier's price list, extract it, put into StockSync or whatever software that you're going to use to import the product to Shopify. Then you're going to optimize the title, change the price, add in the barcode, add the product tags, product types, optimize the SEO meta titles, do all that. You have to do it step by step by step, record all those steps, piece it together into one SOP. Um, yeah, you just have to explain it to them step by step. I would say that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, when it comes to hard to trust someone to do things right, I want to expand on that because I had a great conversation earlier this week with someone from the gym as well. Is that when you are hiring team members, when you're managing your team, um, you know, trust is such a subjective word, you know? Like you should number one, you should be able to trust your team, but make sure to do things right. I'm actually going to point the finger back to you in the sense that what if your team members don't know what they're supposed to do? Because I've actually had cases where there's just miscommunication, and that's why SOPs is so important. Trevor probably not having has faced that as much because he probably has like the standards, boom, boom, boom. What I did back then when it came to hiring for my ecom, I was all over the place, but I would just literally just make the video. And like Trevor said, I would just over his shoulder and teach them, like show them what to do. So yeah, metric it. See if you could try to figure out like step by step what you're expecting. Managing expectations is kind of what I'm saying. That will, trust or not, as long as you're able to see like they're doing that work.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, would you recommend hiring customer service right away? Handle calls is better.
Yeah, could you, Marcus, can you read it out so people are listening?
Yes, sir. If you're not a native English speaker, would you recommend hiring a customer service representative right away to handle calls, or is it better to hire someone from the United States or the Philippines? I'll start. If you're not a native English speaker, I think you should work on English a little bit. See if you could get that moving, because I mean the business that you're going to, especially if you're going to US market, you can't have a VA do everything. You're gonna have to talk to a supplier in English. You have to respond to emails in English. That's something you cannot avoid. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't be good, but you want to look at, again, guys. This is a shift that I also want you guys to see, is that your VAs are not there to do your business. Okay, that's the thing a lot of leaders get caught up with. Like, you have a team, but you're supposed to be the one that's, bro, you got to be the first one in and last one out. Don't expect them to take all the calls for you. It's like you should be handling calls, and then when it's like so much, then they help. But it's not the other way around. Some people think it's like once I hire someone, it's like it's the other way around. Like they're gonna do everything for me. Who the fuck's gonna run your business for you, bro? At like 11 a.m. and like 3 a.m. at night, like if something happens and it's your business, you have to. It's yours. So make sure, because that's the intuition I'm getting from hearing this. Is like, oh, you want to outsource and just, no, do it yourself. And then when you need help, then you consider hiring someone. That's my take,
Yep.
Trevor.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you said there. In terms of the second question, is it better to hire someone from US or the Philippines? I would recommend hiring from the Philippines starting out, but you ideally want to transition, or you don't have to. Basically, I would say a store doing 200, 300K a month, you could operate with 4 to 5 VAs, or you could just operate with just one US employee. Because it's not because the VAs can't handle it. Well, kind of. Because they're like halfway across the world from you. If you're in the US and they're in the Philippines, they're 12 hours difference, 12 or 13-hour difference. They're working night shifts when it's morning here, and the other way around when it's Yeah, nighttime in the US. So I would say start with Philippine VAs, but you want to consider hiring US employees because a one good US employee can like make or break your business. So, and in terms of US employees, if you can find someone that's hungry, I would just start them at like 2 to 3 grand a month. That
And they
would
just start
that
taking
would
in like leads and everything, right? Like every day.
exactly 2 to 3K a month. You want to. There are some tricks to that you could do. Obviously, you're not gonna pay someone 2 to 3 grand in California. There's no way they're surviving on 2 to 3 grand in California or New York. You want to look for states that have lower income, medium income. So I would say like Oklahoma, Alabama, those southern states. I don't know the stats of them, but like just states that have lower income. You obviously cannot go to the big city like California and New York. Like paying them 3 grand would just be they can't get by with that.
Yeah.
But pay them 3 grand plus commissions on top, and if they're good, they're gonna do way better than 4 to 5 VAs.
Agreed.
Pretty much so.
Back to structuring on teams. Team structuring is all about the goal of the business and where you're trying to go. How you structure your biz to like 50K a month is different than 100K a month, than 200K a month. So the structuring just comes down to your bandwidth, your resources, and where you're going. So if you're only just trying to get to like 100K, one VA, 1 to 2 max, I think is fine. How I look at it is just have a balance. Like I always look at it just like front and back end, like one on sales and one on fulfillment. That's how I structured my business for ecom. One person's on front end taking calls and managing the leads, and or like 80/20. You could look at it as 80/20. Like there's overlaps. There's going to be overlaps, so it's like an 80/20 kind of thing. And then just have both of them. They're both because you're gonna have times where like something might have happened to a VA. Like maybe like they're having a bad day. Like some shit just happened. You know, you don't want to bank everything on. Like they're also human. You know. Yeah.
I agree. They're human at the end of the day. They're not robots.
Uh,
Most people, when they hear VAs, they think like there's some virtual AI. No, they're people.
the real
People,
human.
families. People,
Yeah.
family with kids, like just like you.
Yeah.
But I do want to share this. I made this a while ago.
Yeah, that's great.
But basically, this kind of outlines. Let me just zoom out. The full team stack. If you really wanted to scale to a million a month, uh, basically it just comes down to these four components that you need in your business: the sales team that's going to generate you revenue, the customer service team that's going to prevent from issues with customer returns, chargebacks, anything like that. Content team, this is also has to do with marketing, and then supplier team, which is constantly also expanding your business. So these four buckets, I would say the four big components that you need to run your $1 million a month ecom business. So starting with the sales team, like you don't need a sales manager in the beginning. There's no point. You start with a sales rep, and the sales rep role is to turn as many leads into sales. And luckily with high ticket ecom, you don't need a ton of sales experience or hard sales skills to convert people into sales. That's the beauty of high ticket ecom. All you really need to do is structure your calls in a way where you just provide value, answer what are they looking for, what's their pain point, add urgency to it, and then CTA. That's it. It's very simple. Like they call you, they want to buy this marble table from you.
Mhm.
Like, why do you want this marble table? Oh, I'm looking to buy this marble table because we're or what's it called?
Renovating.
Renovating. Yeah, renovating our house. Okay, why are you renovating your house? You gotta dig. You gotta dig into their. Well, I just had a divorce with my husband,
Oh
and
my god.
blah blah blah. Just let them talk. Just let them talk, and then yeah, like you just understand like where they're coming from, and like just small talk with them, and then whatever product that they're interested in, the marble table, then all you really have to do is just say, hey, I can get this marble table to you down in your house in Florida. It will just take about 7 business days. How's that sound? And then they most likely say, "Yeah, this sounds great. Do you offer any discounts?" And if they ask you for a discount, they're very warm. You just give them a discount and they'll close. But if they don't ask for a discount, never give the discount. You're just losing profit on front value or face value.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a sales team. The KPIs that you want to measure is just like what's the average sales size. So is your AOV 2,000, 4,000? It's a little bit different as the AOV changes. Like my AOV is around 2,000, but I know Marcus's AOV is like around 4,000 ish. So the customer service experience is a little bit different in terms of like the 4,000 and higher takes a little bit longer to convert than the 2,000. 2,000 I can, if they call them back, they're gonna close right then and there. The 4,000 a little bit longer into like buying, but a little bit different. Cool. So the sales manager, once you have multiple sales reps, is just to manage your sales reps.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you just want to make sure like each sales rep is doing their role. They're closing as many sales as possible. And the whole point of the sales manager is just to make sure that, hey, this sale could have closed. Let me improve. Let me help them make more money so I can also make more money. So the sales manager, it's not really necessary unless you have like honestly 3 or 4, but just depends. Like if you just see where you're spending your time. If you're having to spend a lot of time managing your sales reps, then placing a sales manager will help you, remove some time, save some time. Because as the CEO of the company, you only have so much time, only 24 hours in a day, and half of that is spent on eating and sleeping. So, second,
Yo, guys,
we're gonna
Trevor
talk
is
about.
so raw, right? I'm sorry to tell Trevor. You are so raw, bro. You are. You're fierce, bro. Cold.
And
That's what I was
yeah,
like. You're cold. You are
gotta
cold.
learn it. Gotta learn it from someone that does it.
Holy shit. Let's keep going.
Marcus, why don't you cover customer service team? Like,
Customer service.
yeah, take turns.
Okay, for sure. Okay, look, guys. Everything that Trevor just said with sales reps into manager, that's team structure. It's making sure that people are doing what they're supposed to and they know what they're doing. You see how precise this is? This is managing expectations. You literally see customer service manager role. Okay, like everyone should know their role. The manager's role is to manage the reps. The reps is supposed to take care of the clients. So when it comes to customer service, guys, it sounds so straightforward, and it's one of those things in life that's so simple to understand, and people just don't do it. I see it firsthand. This is just natural life. For example, I have people coming up to me at the gym. They're so nice, so kind, complimenting me on my abs. I say thank you very much. I'm very humbled. They'll tell me, what do you eat? How much macros are you eating? What's your diet? How do you? And I've never been one to count my numbers. I just haven't. Not with my macros. I don't really understand macros and micros. I do know this. Eat less and run more. And that's all I say, bro. That's like literally it. Like eat less, run more, and work on your abs every day. But then they don't do it. They don't do it. So I'm relating that to e-commerce now in the sense that, okay, when someone gives you their money, when someone put their credit card on your website and they bought from you, they trusted you. It is your responsibility to check up on them. It is your responsibility to follow up with them once you get the tracking numbers. It is your responsibility to make sure once they get the delivery of the item that it's no damage and it's followed up with. That's customer service. There's no secret to it. It's just a matter of heart. And that's one of those things that I literally don't need to tell you guys how to have a good customer service. It's when you have, maybe what you need is a CRM. We have a CRM. All right. It's exclusive to our students, but we also have a public one, PeakFlowCRM.com. If you're interested, we could talk about it, but that's where you could see what I'm talking about. All right. You have to see all of your leads and your customers in one spot. So now you know who to follow up, how to follow up, stuff like that. Okay. So if you're trying to give the best customer experience possible, make sure you are able to consolidate that data, properly outsource it to your reps, and then you're able to manage. You could listen to the call, see how the chats are doing, and the only way you could do that is by PeakFlow CRM. So the customer service manager position is a great position. Customer service key to the team. They go hand in hand. Sales and customer service. That's my
Hmm.
stance. Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, the whole goal of the customer service is to prevent issues from coming up.
Exactly.
And what makes good business owners from bad business owners is I learned this from my supplier. It is like the supplier literally told me their best dealers, they track each order from being placed to being picked up from the truck to being all the way delivered to the customer, and they follow up with the customer to get the review. That 90% of people that are in ecom they don't do.
They just don't.
And yeah, it's just because they're lazy. It's just it requires brute force, obviously.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a lot of orders, you could do pretty effectively. But I would say as long if you can keep that going on as you scale your business from 20,000 a month to 50,000 to 100,000 a month, if you could keep that same customer service, well, you most people say like, hey, chargebacks are a big thing with high ticket. No, if you have a good customer service team like we do, we only had I think I only had 4 chargebacks in over 4,000 orders over the past almost 4 years.
I stopped getting chargebacks recently. I don't want to jinx anything, God willing. I stopped
Hmm.
getting chargebacks.
Yeah. Let's answer question real quick.
Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the feedback, guys. The issue is that I was reading on Reddit about broken English and how people might not buy products worth $3,000 from someone who speaks with broken English. Listen, brother, if you could sell, you could sell. You could sell in any way. People could hear heart. But I guess what you're trying to say is if they hear broken English, then it sounds a little scammy. You might lose trust with them. So you just have to be able to get past that objection. Just like I know what I'm doing. No, you don't need to sound English. Just know that it's just the voice in you, and maybe you don't know what you're doing, and that's why you're asking this. So you need to really get familiar and just reps, bro. That's the answer. And even like with English, it's like you just have to get reps and talk.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's truly what it is. The last
Yo,
96. Yo. Samantha said, can't wait to work with y'all on scaling our business in the future. It's so helpful to have mentors that have already done this and know what's ins and outs of the business. Thank you very much. We're just trying to provide as much value as we can.
I'm pretty sure Sam's in the program.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
Full of cat.
let's go,
Really?
Sam. Do you guys or your students use the unit number on your address? Yeah, the secondary address, I've used it.
I would, yeah, I think he's referring to like the business
Oh.
address. Basically, we partnered up with Dula, which is a company that helps form business entities,
Hmm.
and they help you get a business address that's not, I believe, not a unit address. But if you have a unit address, that's not really been a problem. I would say a lot of people have the same Wyoming address, and recently it's been causing issues with Merchant Center. Speaking of Merchant Center, yeah, if you have the Wyoming address, I would remove it from your footer. That has kind of been known to cause an issue.
Yo, I just got a $12,000 sale. That's why I was like, ooh, I get dopamine from 10Ks and above. I'll be honest, my dopamine receptors are so fucked between us, bro. Because like, how long has it been since we started like getting? For me, it's been like 5 years, 4 or 5 years since I started seeing those Shopify cha-chings. And at first, it was so nice. I don't know. Can you relate, Trev, when you got your first cha-ching on Shopify? It was like,
Yeah,
ooh. It was like, ooh.
I actually turned off all my notifications for a good 2 years because like it was just too much. It's getting like, you know, I read like a Reddit post like they recommended or someone recommended turning off the Shopify notifications because you see the sale, then you're thinking like, hey, you're making money, but if you actually run the numbers, maybe you
Oh
are
my God.
making some money, maybe you're not making that much money. So basically, I just checked the sales at the end of the day instead of just having a Shopify notification because it gets so addictive. You just cha-ching. Oh my god, just kind of have to pull up the phone and then
He's
another
calling me a
second passes
mindless
by.
scroller, guys. He's saying my
Then you're on
dopamine.
it. Then you're on Instagram for another 30 minutes, and then oh, what was I working on?
Is that me? Is he throwing subs to me, guys? Drop a follow or let me know what you're thinking. But nah, yo, I
Yep,
just got 12K. Shit just gave some good dopamine. So
nice, cool. Let's cover this real quick. So
let's
content
get to it.
team, this is basically your marketing. You could label as content team, marketing team, same thing. But if you were to write blogs, you would definitely want to hire someone to help you write it, unless you want to write it yourself. That's okay to start with. But each content rep is essentially just a writer. They would just publish blog posts on your site. Um, Without going to like being too technical, all they're really doing is doing keyword research for the products that you're selling, creating collection pages, blog pages, optimizing uh, your landing pages for SEO, just getting more traffic. The content manager, you really don't need this unless you're doing a million a month, of course. But the content manager just makes sure that they're publishing it on time, making people are hitting KPIs. Pretty simple. And the last one is supplier team. Also, not very necessary, but let's just say you have a store that's just very broad. You always want to be reaching out to suppliers. And in that case, you probably don't need someone to outreach to suppliers. You mainly need a supplier team for inventory management, promotion updater, new product manager, supplier acquisition, and product lister. So those just ongoing supplier stuff that you just have to have people there to help you with.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Wait, hold on, Trev. Yes. There's also guys sales process Slack and automations that we didn't cover though.
Yeah, you can cover. It's pretty straightforward, but you want to use Slack for your team, just like messaging teams. Automations, you could use Zapier, or if you're using PeakFlow CRM, you can use those automations.
Okay. Sorry. I know a lot. I know what Trevor just said probably flew through a lot of you guys' head right now. Automation, Zapier, Slack. What the fuck did you just say? Okay, I'll break it down. I got you. Slack is a communication channel. That's how you use to talk to your peoples, your team. Okay, you could use that. Automation is a whole entire game of its own. Automation is like, it's like, yeah, that's like real systems. Okay, it's like using logic. It's like if something happens, then something else happens. If you get an
Mm-hmm.
email, then you get a notification. That's like an automation. Okay, so automations meaning like if you get an abandoned checkout, are you sending an email out to the person that just potentially wanted to buy from you? So that's automations. This is way more advanced. So if this doesn't make sense to you yet, it's okay. I don't even think you need to worry about this part until you're at the point where you're getting your some sales and starting to see some numbers come out. I think everything you could probably build off on your own first. But I just wanted to give a quick TLDR of sales, Slack, and automation. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry, I just kind of blew through it, but
Nah, you're good,
you
bro.
you,
And,
you, you you
bro,
explained it. You
people don't know
explained it
what
well.
Zapier is, bro.
That's true. That's true. I
You know,
sometimes just be like
I
explaining
get it.
things like if people already understand it, but
I get it. I get it. I
okay,
get
let me just make sure I explain it
it.
very simply.
Yo, we're so raw with you guys. I hope you guys take advantage and ask. Do you guys have a one-on-one call to help me start? Yes, we have a application form, so it's somewhere in our links. So you could just fill it out and see if you qualify for the program.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yes.
Hiring team members, pretty stressful at times, but you know, part of the game. This is what you signed up for. If this is scary to you, then maybe it isn't for you. But make it exciting. Just change your mindset. Instead of it being scary, make it exciting. This is fun.
To be honest, this is as simple as it gets. Like you want to go into real business world and you have like a retail storefront and you got rent and you got real people and you want bro, this is like literally ABCs. That shit's rocket science. Like that's a lot more stress. So you can't handle this, then maybe business is not for you, to be honest.
Yeah, which is fine. Like At the end of the day, it's your choice.
Uh,
You could literally hear the cars honking in your background.
well, I mean, there's no more questions, so let's call it that, guys. I mean, every Friday, you know where to find us. PeakFlow Power Hour, Fridays at 12. My name is Marcus. My partner is Trevor, and we are PeakFlow. Rise to your peak, flow to your rhythm.
Peace.
Later.